When I think of the environment, as in the E in ESGs, I think of it as the intersection between extractives and other natural resources. My sense is that responsible environmental stewardship speaks directly to reconciling the extractives and renewable resources. And appropriate stewardship of the environment is important not just for the sake of protecting the environment, but also because it speaks to the capacity of renewable resources to continue to sustain life. Life in the human form, life in the plant form, but life also in the animal form. Let's have a look at what these renewable resources are. First, you have land. Land, if you wish, hosts everything on the planet Earth. It is essential not just for agriculture, it's essential for our own domestic needs, it's essential for industry, and therefore mining, oil and gas projects compete for access to land with these other economic developments. If we look again at forestry are a source of life for human beings, they are a source of life for animals. For that matter, they are a source of a wide range of medicine. And therefore, it's important that as mining and oil projects are developed, consideration is given to how to protect this resource. And then we have water. Both oil, gas, and mineral projects use a lot of water. That means, therefore, that these projects compete for that resource again with other industry, including agriculture, construction, and domestic use. So environmental stewardship is really about acknowledging this, the value of these resources, and managing them in a way that not only balances the economic and human needs, but in a way that protects the capacity of future generations to continue to benefit from access to these resources. What we know about the impact of mineral, oil and gas projects is based on several factors. The first is to understand that the impact, though similar, is different. The impact of mineral projects differs from the impact of petroleum projects in many ways. A good example is the footprint and then the levels of carbon emission. The physical footprint is pretty much comparable. The level of carbon emissions tends to be higher in petroleum projects because in part of a process called gas flaring, in which oil companies choose to burn the gas rather than capture it for purely economic reasons. By contrast, mining reputedly uses more water, and because most mining projects are on land, there you can see the potential conflict with others who need access to water. And so scale matters because the larger the project, mining oil or gas, the bigger the impact in terms of physical footprint, potential level of emissions, but also consumption of water and displacement of people. On the other hand, it also matters where in the cycle of the project we are talking about the environment. In the exploration space, the footprint is nominal. Generally, no Scope 1 emissions, but some Scope 2 emissions. But when we start the production and we start to process, both mining projects, oil and gas, consume a huge amount of energy, and therefore the carbon footprint is higher. If one looks again at what is called the value chain, which is whether you're processing, whether you're refining, whether you're fabricating, and whether you're producing products for consumption. All these stages impact the extent to which mining oil and gas can adversely affect the environment. Finally, it's important to understand, especially in mining, that though you and I speak of mining, the truth is we are speaking of different industries. Let's give a concrete example. If one looks at bulk minerals like copper, iron ore, and bauxite, their emissions at refinery stage are significant because of the level of energy they consume. Their Scope 2 emissions are also huge because transported in bulk, they consume a lot of energy to be moved from source to market. If one then looks at gemstones, they are consumed in their natural form. They have a very high ratio of value to weight. Therefore, the transportation costs and the associated energy consumption is significantly lower. And therefore, to properly steward the environment and protect it, it's important to understand these issues and to put laws and processes in place to mitigate the risk of unintended consequences. In the event that we simply take the view that the industry is homogeneous or that the substances are homogeneous, the likelihood is that the solutions we come up with will be suboptimal.